The share dealing round determines financial control and market valuation. Play proceeds clockwise around the table, starting with the player holding the priority deal marker. The priority deal marker is the little train symbol, which at the moment is next to Christian, and that's why Christian is starting that round. During your turn, you may do up to 2 actions. The first action is selling as many shares as you want. The second action is buying up to 1 share from the bank or another player. Which shares you can buy or sell is indicated by the engine. Selling shares are indicated by red borders. Shares that the player can buy are indicated by a green border. However, market actions have consequences. For every selling action, the company's stock price immediately drops 1 row on the market index. The Rails evolution engine calculates and executes these drops instantly. For example, in this situation, Christian decides to sell 1 Bavaria share. It drops down by 1 field. Christian now receives a red dot next to the Bavaria, indicating that he is not allowed to purchase back this paper again in this stock round. After selling, or instead of selling, the player may purchase exactly 1 certificate. You may buy shares from the bank at the printed price, or previously sold shares from the bank pool at their current market price. There's only 1 share that Christian can buy at the moment, which is the director, the president share of the Baden, and he decided to buy that. 1835 utilizes a rigid company release structure. Share companies are divided into 3 groups. First group, Bavaria and Saxony. Second group, Baden-Württemberg, Hessen. And third group, Mecklenburg and Oldenburg. The first share of group only becomes available when all shares of the previous group have been sold. So the Baden director only became available because all Bavaria and Saxony shares were sold. Within a group, the next company director will become available when 50% of the previous company has been sold. So the Württemberg will become available when 50% of the Baden is sold, and the Hessen president will become available when 50% of the Württemberg is sold. The Mecklenburg and the Oldenburg are the third group. They will only become available again when 100% of shares in the second group are sold. The player holding the highest percentage of a company becomes its director. If you purchase enough stock to exceed the current director holding, a change of control is triggered. The system automatically transfers the director certificate, giving you full operational control of that railway's track and revenue for the next phase. Christian has now sold a share and bought a share, and therefore cannot do anything anymore, and will hand to the next player. The player holding the highest percentage of a company is its director. Mark in this instant decides that he doesn't like the Bavaria anymore, and he decides to sell 30% of its holding to the bank. The 30% went to the bank pool, but now Christian has more shares in the Bavaria than Mark. This indicates that Christian has automatically become the president of the Bavaria. In this instant, this is not very clever because the Bavaria is a very good company. However, if the company should have, for example, no trains and no cash, this could become a lethal weapon. The round ends when all players pass consecutively. The priority deal marker passes to the next player who sits after the player who purchased the last share. At the end of the round, the market rewards healthy companies. A floated company with all of its shares owned by players, in this case the Saxony, meaning 0 shares are in the bank pool, automatically has its stock price moved up 1 row. So Mark will pass. That That is the end of the stock round. The Saxony has gone up, and the next operating round in the green phase will start.